Hey, it is Kenny's Audiophile Record Views. Thank you very much for viewing my video. As always, as I say in all my videos, please like and subscribe. That'll help my growing channel out. I'd really appreciate that. In this video, I'm going to reveal my top 10 favorite acoustic jazz piano players. I'm not going to include the electric piano players from the jazz fusion realm, you know, like some of the greats like Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Joe Zawinul, although they're great as acoustic jazz piano players. Who knows, maybe one or two of them make my top 10. Stay tuned for that. But this video is for acoustic jazz piano players, my top 10. We have to keep in mind, as I say in all my videos, these are subjective. There's no right or wrong answer. I know some of you take these things ultra seriously. It is just for fun, just my top 10. There's going to be some glaring omissions on everybody's list. It's very difficult, it's impossible to get 25 great acoustic jazz piano players in a top 10 list. There's going to be some glaring omissions, and it's based on how we listen to and analyze and what we love and enjoy as music lovers. What you love in an acoustic jazz piano player could be different from the next person and different from mine. We have to be mindful of that. Like I said, I know some of you take it ultra seriously. I'm not trying to solve a multivariable calculus problem. I'm not trying to solve a differential equation. I'm just giving my top 10 acoustic jazz piano players list. I'm going to start with 10 and go down to 1 being my favorite. And I'm going to start with number 10, and that is Herbie Hancock. Herbie Hancock was great enough as an acoustic jazz piano player to make my top 10 list. I thought he was magnificent with the Miles Davis Quintet and some of the other projects he worked on, you know, some of his albums, which he was a headliner. So Herbie Hancock had to make my top 10 list. And number 10, a highly skilled, a highly talented acoustic jazz piano player. He's been at this for a long time. Like I said, through the Miles Davis Quintet, through, gosh, a few years ago when he won the Grammy for, I think, Best Album of the Year for the Joni Letters. Herbie Hancock coming in at number 10. At number 9, this player in my mind was a virtuoso on the jazz piano, a great leader, a great communicator in terms of the art form of jazz piano playing. The great Ahmad Jamal, a tremendous acoustic jazz piano player. And like I said, he was around for a long time. I think he was born around 1930 and passed away 2023, something like that. A terrific jazz piano player. Ahmad Jamal coming in at number 9. This is his Great But Not For Me album. Coming in at number 8, and some of you are going to have him lower on your list, closer to number 1. I'm not going to blame you. You know, like I said, we have our own vision or version of what good acoustic jazz piano sounds like, but he comes on 8 on my list, and that is Bill Evans. Bill Evans, I said this in many videos, had this romantic style of jazz play. You know, I said this also in many videos, that if I was chilling on the couch with my wife and I want to hear some beautiful jazz piano playing, I'll probably go to Bill Evans first, because he had, like I said, he had this romantic, delicate but beautiful style of jazz piano playing. He was highly skilled, highly talented as an acoustic jazz piano player. Bill Evans comes in at number 8 on my list. Coming in at number 7. Now, every time I think about this acoustic jazz piano player, I think of my father because of the song for My Father. The terrific Horace Silver coming in at number 7. He too was around for a long time. You know, I think he came in, he may have initially played with Stan Getz, was one of the, you know, original founding members of the Jazz Messengers, I believe. He was skilled, highly talented, and simply excellent for a long time. Horace Silver, that magnificent acoustic jazz piano player, coming in at number 7. At number 6, and I've said this in videos in past also, this piano player brought physicality to the instrument of a acoustic jazz piano playing. He really did. He has his unique style of playing. When you hear him, you know it's him because of the way he hits those keys and his sound. And that is the tremendous and skillful McCoy Tyner, who played with John Coltrane, had his own groups, and over the years, what a terrific acoustic jazz piano player McCoy Tyner was. This is his Fly with the Wind album, what is one of my favorite jazz albums of all time. The sensational McCoy Tyner coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, this is just a beautiful jazz piano player, acoustic jazz piano player, I should say. The terrific Art Tatum. It's sad that he was not around long enough to express, the beauty that he displayed in his acoustic jazz piano playing. I think he passed away at the age of 47. It's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that Norman Granz, I think in the mid-50s, did a lot of his recording, as a recorded living document of his sensational work. Art Tatum coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, and I forgot to put an album there for him, so I have to improvise. When I think of jazz piano playing, I think of this acoustic jazz piano player. It's almost like when you think of basketball, a lot of people, the first player that comes to their mind might be Michael Jordan for a lot of people. But when I think of, he's like that. And this player is Bud Powell. Bud Powell was just an innovative, influential, tremendously great, tremendously fabulous acoustic jazz piano player. He too passed away at a young age of 41, I think in 1966. Man, I think we were unfortunately robbed of several decades of his creativity. If he would have just had longevity on his side, the contributions he could have made as an acoustic jazz piano player. Bud Powell coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, I love his playing. It is simply unique. Thelonious Monk. To me, Thelonious Monk had this disjointed style of playing. And it wasn't necessarily fluid and smooth like a lot of jazz piano players. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a positive way, because you knew it was uniquely Thelonious Monk. It was coming from his heart, coming from his soul, and it manifests itself in the sound of the acoustic jazz piano player Thelonious Monk. He was sensationally tremendous and a beautiful jazz acoustic piano player. Those of you who may not know, there was a documentary about Thelonious Monk that I think it shows concert, takes you on a concert tour with him, maybe in the recording studio. I think it was a project by Clint Eastwood. It's called Straight No Chaser, I believe. If you had not seen Straight No Chaser, you should check it out. Thelonious Monk coming in at number 3, one of my all-time favorites on acoustic jazz piano. This next acoustic jazz piano player was a great educator and a great communicator when it came to the acoustic jazz piano. I've seen many videos of this player, and he communicated exceptionally well, almost like on a college lecture level type of knowledge. And that is a great Oscar Peterson. Highly skillful, exceptionally talented piano player, exceptionally talented jazz piano player he was. You can make a case for him being number 1. And this is his popular We Get Requests album. But he was simply sensational as a jazz piano player. And like I said, he had great communication skills too, in terms, if you watch the YouTube videos of Oscar Peterson. And he communicated, very well about, jazz education. If you listen to piano playing education when you listen to YouTube videos that features Oscar Peterson. Coming in at number 1, I know a lot of you may not have this musician at number 1, but he's my favorite acoustic jazz piano player. I think he's the most skilled, most talented, in my opinion, because I think he can play any style. He's a great improvisational jazz musician as well. And that is Keith Jarrett, comes in at number 1 on my list. He came up, I think he was playing with, I think he might have been playing with the Jazz Messengers. Charles Lloyd played jazz fusion with Miles Davis, even though he hated electronic instruments. Had his own great projects, you know, with musicians like Jack DeJohnette on drums. And he, like I said, he's a magnificent at jazz improvisation, and that takes a lot of talent, skill, and quite frank, a lot of guts to get on stage without a band backing you and just get on there and jam and play. This is his legendary Cone Concert album. Some, depending on what part of the world you're from, pronounce it as Cologne, I believe. Some pronounce it as Cone Concert. Keith Jarrett is number 1 on my acoustic jazz piano playing list. And like I said, he's just insanely talented when it comes to playing the piano. I think you can play any style. He was that great. He's exceptionally versatile. He's number 1 on my list. And like I said, there's going to be glaring omissions on anybody's list. I mean, I have Red Garland here. He didn't make my top 10. Errol Garner, who had the great Concerts by the Sea album, didn't make my top 10. He's exceptional. Dave Brubeck, Count Basie, Earl Hines, a lot of greats did not make my list. But please leave your acoustic jazz piano playing list, top 5, top 10, number 1, whatever amount you want to leave in the comment section below. There's going to be glaring omissions on everybody's list, like I said. Please like and subscribe. I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you very much for viewing my video. God bless, strong love, and always, more important than the music, more important than top 10 lists, keep the peace worldwide.